Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine, continuing the book of the Iliad by Homer. I'm going to continue to read. But now, the moment the son of crooked Cronus allows me to seize some glory here at the ships, and pin these Argives back against the sea. You fool! Enough, no more thoughts of retreat. Paraded before our people, not that one children will ever take your lead. I will never permit it. Come, follow my orders, or obey me now. Take supper now. Take your post through camp, and no forgetting the watch. Each man wide awake, and any children so weighed down, too oppressed by his own oppressions, let him collect the lot, pass them round to the people, a grand public feast. Far better for one of ours to reap the benefits than all the marauding Argives, then, as you say, tomorrow at the daybreak, armed to the hilt of battle, we slash to attack against their deep-curved hulls. If it is really Achilles who reared beside the ships, all the worse for him if he wants his fill of war. For one, I'll never run from his grim assault. I'll stand up to the man, see if he bears off glory, or I bear it of myself. The god of war is impartial. He hands out death to the man who hands out death. So Hector finished. The children's roared assent, lost in folly. Athena had swept away their senses. They gave applause to Hector's ruinous tactics, none to Pelademus, who gave them sound advice. And now their entire army settled down to supper. But all night long the Argives raised Patroclus' dirge. The Achilles led them now in the throbbing chant of sorrow, laying his killing hands on his great friend's chest, convulsed with bursts of grief, like a bearded lion whose pride of cubs a deer hunter has snatched away out of some thick woods, and back he comes too late, and his heart breaks, but he crosses after the hunter. Hot on his tracks down glen on twisting glen, where can he find him? Gripping by piercing rage. So Achilles groaned deeply, crying out to his myrmidons, O my captains, how empty and the promise I let fall that they are assured minorities in his house. I promised the king I'd bring him back his son, home to Oppius, covered in glory, Troy, sacked, hauling his rightful share of plunder home. But Zeus will never accomplish all our best laid plans. Look at us, both doomed to stain red with our blood, the same plot of earth, a world away in Troy. For not even I will voyage home again, never. No embrace in his halls from the old horseman Peleus, nor from mother Thetis. This alien earth I tread will hold me down at last. But now, Patroclus, since I will follow you underneath the ground, I shall not bury you. No, not till I drag back here the gear and the head of Hector, who slaughtered you, my friend, gathered-hearted friend. Here, in front of your flaming parry, I will cut the throats of a dozen sons of Troy, in all their shining glory, venting my rage on them for your destruction. Till then, you lie as you are beside my bricked ships, and around you the Trojan women and deep-breasted Dardans will mourn you night and day, weeping burning tears, women who fought to win strong hands and heavy lands, whenever we sack rich cities held by mortal man. With that, the brilliant Achilles ordered the friends to set a large three-legged cauldron over the fire and wash the clotted blood from the Patroclus' wounds with all good speed, hoisting over the blaze the cauldron, filling it brimful with bathing water. They piled a fresh log beneath and lit them quickly, and the fire leapt at the vessel's belly, and the water warmed, and soon as it reached the boil in the glowing bronze, they bathed and anointed the body sleek with olive oil. close each wound with the soothing seasonal unguent, and then they laid Patroclus on his bier, covered him head to foot in a thin light sheet, and over his body spread the white linen shroud. Then all night long, ringing the great runner Achilles, male maiden fighters mourned and raised Patroclus' dirge. But Zeus turned to Hera, his wife and sister, saying, "So, my ox-eyed queen, you've had your way at last," setting the famous runner Achilles on his feet. "Mother Hera, look, these long-haired Achaeans must be sprung of your own immortal lines." But her eyes widening, noble Hera answered, "Dread Majesty, son of Cronus, what are you saying? Even a mortal man will act to help a friend. Condemned as a mortal always is to death, and already endowed with wisdom deep to ours. So how could I, claiming to be the highest goddess, both by birth and since I am called your consort, and you in turn rule all the immortal gods, how could I hold back from these Trojans, man I loosed, and fail to weave their ruin?" Now as the king and the queen provoked each other, glistening-footed Thetis reached Hephaestus' house. Indestructible, bright as stars, shining among the gods, built of bronze by the crypt smith with his own hands, there she found him, sweating, wheeling around his bellows, pressing the work on 23-legged cauldrons, an array to ring the walls inside his mansion. He'd bolted a golden wheel to the leg of each, so all on their own speed. At a nod from him, they could row to halls where the gods convene their row right home again, a marvel to behold, but not quite finished yet. The god had still to attach the inlaid handlers. There he was just fitting, beating in the rivets as he bent to the work with all his craft and cunning. Thetis on her glistening feet drew near the smith, but Charis saw her first, Charis coming forward, lithe and lovely in all her glittering headdress, the grace and illustrious crippled smith had married. Approaching Thetis, she caught her hand and spoke her name. "Thetis of flowing robes, what bring you to our house? A beloved, honored friend, but it's been so long. Your visit much too rare. Follow me in, please. Let me offer you all a guest could want." Welcome words, and the radiant goddess Charis led the way inside. She seated her on a handsome, well-wrought chair, studded with silver, under the slippered stool, and called a famous smith. "Hephaestus, come. Look who's here. Thetis would ask a favor of you." I'm going to stop here today and continue next time. Thank you for watching.